Good morning, good afternoon. How are we doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I apologize yesterday. I was not around. It was my little sister's graduation day. Yeah, my little sister is now a psychologist. Actually, she was doing her master's. So she graduated her master's in psychology. And I had to drive all the way to the uni for her graduation ceremony. That's why I was absent yesterday. But it was quite interesting how price traded yesterday. I should have been around to observe, because I did see some fantastic trades forming, but unfortunately I was not around. So yesterday we had the dollar index move up above the previous week high, as we were expecting this week, and that sent the euro to all the targets that we anticipated. At the same time, we had the dollar yen also move up to our targets as we were anticipating. The only trade that didn't work out was the dollar CAD, which actually stopped out. So that was a nice one. And then I also saw a nice trade idea form on the pound Aussie, but like I said, I was not around. If I was, we would have actually taken that trade. But we'll go through it on the lower time frame. Now today I'm not gonna give anything because we have the NFP in the next 30 minutes. So I'll rather we observe it and then look at what price is going to do after that. So let's go through some of the trade ideas that formed yesterday that if I was around. So here on the pound Aussie, we had a move down. We created a nice fair value gap. Price pulled back to it, then dropped. Then New York session. This was yesterday. So if I was here yesterday, we would have basically even taken this trade to come and attack this low. Because if you remember, the first trade that we took, that we got our first objective, the target was for this low to be taken. Okay, and they manipulated up during the first part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, taking it up around the previous week high, and then rejected. Nice move. Then this morning I actually missed it when I woke up. Nice pullback into this gap, Asian session gap. 1 a.m. pull back to it, and then down we went. Another trade that formed yesterday was, I think, euro. Here, when price traded back into this gap with the up candle, since the dollar index was yet to go and attack the previous week high, this was also a nice trade to send price lower. Euro Aussie also, there was also another nice trade on Euro Aussie during the New York session here. Nice move, auto block, and then attack that low. And then crude oil. I think yesterday, if I was around, probably we would have got stopped out on crude oil because I was looking for this to move lower. I had this auto block here for them to reject from. It came very close and then rejected. So when I was at the ceremony, I was watching and studying price, and I was saying in my mind, if I was doing a live session, we would have been doing the live session here, and I would have given this area as where price is gonna come for you to take a trade. However, if I was sitting in front of the screen, I would have taken a trade here and it would have stopped me out, because after this rejection, I would have anticipated them going all the way back down here, and that would have stopped me out. So it's a good thing that I was not at home yesterday. But I still think they might come back for this long, or from this up candle here. And then today, as I was sitting in front of the screen, as usual, being open to whatever comes, I had another quote unquote revelation about price. Something just dropped, which I will probably share in future, regarding how the algorithm works. And I think I've shared with you all how to basically how to do it for yourself, which is believe that there is an algorithm and be open to the impression about how it works. Okay, be open to the impression about how it works and let the information come through. So that's what I did this morning, and some of the impression came, and like I said, I'll share in future. Okay, let's look at New Zealand CAD. Maybe next week, depending. Let's see if they can close above this previous week low. If they can close above it, then we might go up next week. We might look for a buy on this pair next week, looking at how the daily is closing. Similar to Aussie CAD, it's also closing. So let's see. I think they might trade a little bit higher, somewhere here. They might trade there. So another potential trade idea for next week. We can look for a buy to continue going up. Gold, I'm expecting them to come for this level. I think yesterday was a nice, yesterday, 2 days ago, yesterday price didn't do much, so I'm expecting today to move lower from this low, from that candle's low. I want to see them drop down one more time to attack this level. The idea is coming from the weekly time frame. We took out this up candles high, so that up candles low is likely going to be a draw on liquidity. And looking at how the daily is shaped with this big candle, I'm expecting one more to attack that candle's low. And like I said, if we don't get a rejection below that low, then it's likely going to trade to OTE. So this low to this high, right? We're going to trade to OTE somewhere here. So I'm expecting a continuation to the downside on the dollar index. Now, I wish we've had the the NFP now, so I can see the outcome of it and then project what price is going to do. This month, the month of May, is I think the best month out of all the year. Month of May and October, November. So April, May, October, November. These 4 months, in my experience, has been the best in terms of price movement, in terms of seasonalities. They've been always big moves, like continuous daily either up candles or continuous daily down candles, or even weekly up candles for the entire month, right? So this month is gonna be fun, provided we get the seasonal move that usually happens. Now, if I was to give a prediction for dollar, right, I think we can go up. I think we can go up because let me bring the seasonality for dollar, so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, I'm doing this because we do have the NFP. If not, I would have gone through the price. Okay, so this is the dollar index, and I'm gonna highlight precisely May. Okay, so way too large. Okay. There is. So this is 1st May. We see a manipulation to the downside and a big move to the upside, right? So let me put it. This is 1st May. Okay, so there's a manipulation and then a big push to the upside. So end of the month. Okay, so if I was to gamble today, then they might send dollar index maybe inside its fair value gap, or even completely wipe out all of that. Then next week reversal, and then we go up. That's what I'm expecting. So it's either we shoot up or they'll manipulate, then reversal, and then we come back up. Okay, either or. So let's see. Now, based on the daily, since they've gone above this up candle, that is why I'm saying we can shoot up, or they can just now, because they didn't print the institutional buying candles, so they might now print that aggressive down candles and then reverse and go up. Okay, so that's my prediction for this month on the dollar index. Yeah, so we have the NFP coming in the next 10 minutes, but let's go and look at the cryptocurrencies first whilst we are waiting, and then when after the news we will just do the currencies. So hype, we are almost there. Okay, almost to that last target, so hang in there, we'll get there very soon. Now how price is gonna behave after we get there, we will see going forward how it's gonna behave, but let them get there first. AI16Z, we will be moving here. I think I like the shape of price action here. Nice auto block formed, immediate close, pullback, rejection. So we should see, well, if this was a currency pair, I'm buying right here. I'm buying right here with my stop loss below it. I'll target there, and then I'll actually target here. And then I'll leave something on to continue going higher. If this was a currency, that's how I'll do. So there you go. Solana, similar, but I prefer AI16Z. Okay, AI16Z has a down candle prior to the move up. This has a up candle. And Bitcoin, we finally closed above it on a daily, which I would have preferred it had happened before the new month, because the month did not end with a close above, which I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. But let's go with the flow. So all that was an area of accumulation. So go with the flow. Down candle here. That will hold. Hopefully they create a fair value gap. So next upside objective will be this candle's high, which comes in at 99,484. Look for continuation to the upside, and our wrong side, which is if we go below there we are wrong, will be 92,976. We don't want price to trade there. As long as price is above, we are looking for high price. As a matter of fact, as long as price is above 95,297, we are still looking for higher prices. Ethereum still stuck in that small. I think it needs some kind of an injection. It needs some big push through it, and maybe that might happen over the course of this week. Price might all of a sudden surge, big candle like this one here. Okay, we might see something like that, because usually gaps needs big moves to break through them, because it's acting as a huge barrier, so price will just push through it. We've just talked about hype. XRP struggling, but based on how the month ended, you're looking for a run above 2.3625. Okay, we're looking for a run above 2.3625. As long as this gap is holding, we want price to go there. That's all. Okay, so let's check on the monthly first. yeah, so the month ended with the rejection, not what I expected, which is the close on the daily, close to the opening price of the previous month candle. We didn't get that, and let's see how the week is gonna end, because this, I don't like it, how it's rejecting and trading through the gap. Let's see today. If we reject this gap, then we will be resuming going higher. I don't like the fact that they're leaving gaps on the upside on the daily. They need to leave gaps on the downside to sustain price. As it stands, there is no gap. This is the last one. So if they should trade through this, then there's a problem. Unless this whole move to the downside is accumulation. Okay, unless all this is accumulation on the weekly, they buy in here and then resume going up. And even if they're buying, at least it needs to leave a gap on the weekly, which is not doing it. But I think the monthly high is likely going to be a draw, this high here. So let's see how today is going to end. If we can close through this, I will see it as a manipulation to accumulate more to go up, rather than going all the way down. And then Chachki, that one also struggled to go above the previous month low. That means, you know, there's a high probability this month can also be a down candle, actually, to attack the previous month low. And that's what I was actually teaching today, to take every single candle that opens as something completely new, and then rate, look at how it's going to trade relative to how the previous one closed. That's why I was rooting for this to close above the previous candle's low, because that would have given more reason for price to go higher. Now with that not happening, then price is likely going to take out this low on a monthly time frame basis. So on the lower time frame, it means price can resume going down. So I wouldn't buy anything in here. I would rather look for a sell to continue going down using the gaps that is forming. Okay, we've got about 4 minutes to go, so hopefully everything is clear on the cryptocurrency side. Again, AI16Z is the buy of the day, I think the trade of the day. Now let's look at dollar index, and let's wait for the NFP release and see how we're gonna go about it. Maybe I'll wait 5 minutes after the event, then I'll come back and then we see what we're gonna do. Whilst you're waiting, let me double check. The yen. If I was to bet, which I don't bet, 80% up dollar, 20% down dollar. That would be my bet, or my odds. That would be my odds. Now 80% because of this gap on the daily. and then this small little volume imbalance and the gap on the daily. That is why I'll bet to the upside. And 20% because it can trade through it, break this, come down, and then go up. So I'm going with the flow. The flow is currently gap to the upside. That is why. Okay, we've got about 10 seconds to go, so I'm gonna mute myself and then I'll be back. Okay, I think my prediction was a little bit alright. We saw the dollar index push up with the NFP, not as much as I wanted it to, because I wanted a exaggerated move more than this, but quote unquote, it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, let's see if from 2 p.m. they can send price to take out the high again. I would prefer British pound. Okay, so in the next 30 minutes, if British pound can close below this up candle, I would be interested in selling to go and attack this low. Okay, so let's see how the next 30 minutes is gonna close. I'll be interested in British pound going for this low. If we don't, then forget about it. Apart from that, gold, as I was saying, I'm interested in gold going lower. So gold will be another pair that you can trade if you want to. Then I think that'll be all. The rest, leave them alone, because we are expecting a big move to unfold this month, and it will come with manipulation first. So sit tight, don't do anything, wait, let this week pass. I think this week was not bad, but let this week pass, and how the week will end will give us more information as to how we can carry on going on to next week and the subsequent weeks to come. All right, now from 2 p.m. you might experience a bit of volatility. I don't recommend you engaging with it, because all of that will be manipulation. You can scalp if you want to, but don't pick a direction yet. How the week is going to end will determine how we are going to trade going into next week and the subsequent weeks to come. So don't pick any direction yet. Wait patiently, and we will trade next week. Okay, that's my advice. You can do whatever you want to do, but that would be my advice based on a bit of experience. After the NFP at 2 p.m. they can do a whole lot of manipulation. Okay, so yeah, just take my words and then stay put. Go and have fun, go and play some games, enjoy yourself, but leave the market alone for now. Okay, and then we will touch base again next week, Monday. Hopefully I'll find a nice trade idea. I already seen some of them, but I want the week to end to confirm them, and then next week we can take some nice trade ideas. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your day, have fun, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on Monday.